Welcome to Patanjali Meditation. I have given some information how we can make it a more interactive session. You can write a question here. If you, on the lower taskbar, if you click the chat box that opens on the right side, you can write your question there. Or when you are watching these sessions on the YouTube video, then on the lower side, you can write a comment or question. You can send it direct to my WhatsApp phone number also. You can write to me an email also, scientificspirituality1@gmail.com. And also there is a question answer session. This begins at 10 a.m. Houston time. At 11, I have a question answer session. So the link is given there. And you can raise the question in that session also. So let's begin with what I wish to discuss today. Last time we have covered Patanjali meditation and its scheme following Ashtanga Yoga, and we have discussed at length that first two are lifestyle, yam and niyam, and then for the practice part we have 6 remaining ones, that is sitting posture, deep breathing, and oral recitation of that sound, Om. These 3 steps comprise what is called outer yoga, Bahirang Yoga by Patanjali. Then the next 3 are Antarang Yoga, inner yoga. They deal more with our mind and how to subdue all its functions. And they are called as step number 5 was concentration, where the recitation of that sound becomes mental recitation. And when that mental recitation becomes very uniform, that is what is meditation. And when you are not even hooked to that, you are blank mind, then you have the last step number 6. You enter into step number 6 that we characterized as immersion in an infinite ocean. So let's see, today we want to discuss a very important and very interesting topic that is coming from we have it from some questions also. I have heard it from a couple of practitioners. They have posed this question, and I would like to take that up in a topic which is very relevant for practitioners of Patanjali meditation, sleep and meditation. We have characterized our objective of our Patanjali meditation as to come to a mind frame which is something we are all familiar with, that we have in deep dreamless sleep. In deep dreamless sleep, mind is void of any fluctuation, any perturbations. It is absolutely nothing happening. Nothing is happening in my mind, is it not? So we have said that is our objective that we seek in Patanjali meditation. So naturally, anybody would expect a lot of similarity as well as difference between sleep and meditation. Let's look at some of them. So sleep is very natural. It is mandatory. Late in the evening, we have to go to sleep, and it is not a good idea not to go into sleep. So when naturally you feel sleepy, you should go to sleep. Even otherwise, it is so important for our physical and mental health that we should make it as a happen. We should, align ourselves with this natural thing so that it is very easy for us to go to sleep every evening, and not that we are struggling to be away from sleep. In other words, I am trying to say we should be fully in the going for the sleep as if we desire to be in sleep. So that is nature's gift by default. Uh, as a every little child, we have been sleeping several hours, many times a day. So this comes to us very naturally, but it can be taken away also, because this is a gift, nature's gift to an average human being. But if the lifestyle is going on the negative side, on the downslide, then we know it. Even this wonderful gift may be taken away from us. And we are really aware of this aspect, that many times we want to go to sleep and we are struggling. We have sleepless hours and it is difficult to go to sleep. Such a thing should ideally not happen. And that is a kind of a warning sign that we should review our lifestyle and bring some changes so that we are easily receiving this nature's gift to it. On the other hand, meditation is discretionary. We, as you know it, not everybody naturally gets interested in meditation. So meditation is something, well, we don't want to be biased, but that's the way we will see towards the end of this slide, that this is one step beyond sleep. So if you want to see a real human development, so to say, which we may not have very clear ideas what is the right way for me to develop my personality, but I would say it is a very safe thing to assume if I adopt meditation in my life, and that's the way I remarked in my previous session, that this is a certain path towards perfection. So we look at Patanjali meditation as a very a path that is for my overall holistic development. So it is of course discretionary, but of my own will and choice, I want to adopt it and at least explore it for a few months later. I don't find it much beneficial, then naturally I can, I have a choice. I can withdraw from this regime of meditation. But I think we should be very open minded and explore this thing. So, meditation is discretionary, and it doesn't come to me by itself. I have to slightly earn it. I have to make some effort. So we are learning the theoretical aspects of it, what are the related methods, and then we are learning how to improve our practices in this particular session. On the sleep side, we see that at the end of the sleep, when I wake up, I feel that when I go to sleep, I was very tired, as if my both assets of body and mind in the previous day had picked up lot of fatigue, and that fatigue is dissipated. Better the quality of sleep, better is the dissipation of that fatigue, and more I am likely to be fresh next morning. Meditation does the same thing to some extent. Of course, we don't sit for meditation those many hours as we devote to sleep. So we may not observe that much the dissipation of body and mind fatigue. Body fatigue, particularly, though in mind fatigue, we are likely to feel even after a few minutes of meditation that yes, I am feeling relaxed. But that may not happen so much with body fatigue. But indeed, it is true that both body and mind are inactive. So, the magic of dissipation of fatigue is nothing but taking rest. And taking rest is nothing but making those domains inactive. So, we are physically, bodily also inactive, and of course, in meditation, we are trying to make our mind also inactive. So, more they are inactive, they are taking rest, and that restful state is nothing but dissipation of fatigue. And that's what is stated here in the next: relaxes and refreshes body and mind both. But I want to elaborate more on the last point, that during these hours of sleep, our body is detoxified. But so, of course, when we wake up, we have as if the certain processes were taking place in our body domain and wasteful products were separated. Then we have an urge to go to restroom and uh, and discard and discharge those wasteful substances. Is it not? So body is definitely detoxified, and but that is another huge aspect. That's why we have so much love for meditation. Imagine a person is A, and whatever is his personality, all his states of personality, if he goes into sleep, even if he has best sleep, best deep dreamless sleep, delta sleep, or what we call NIEM third stage, if he has it those many hours, he will emerge at the end of the sleep very relaxed, restful, all that is fine, but his personality remains the same, is it not? He may be feeling better, but all his personality traits are during the hours of the day, they will be exhibiting almost the same way what he was on a previous day. Though he may be a relaxed person, but his personality will be same. And this is where we wish it. That's why we say this is a path to holistic development. What we see here is in meditation, gradually, it's a very gradual process. And as your meditation quality improves, this will be more visible. What happens is if you have a personality of some kind, you will see that gradually, as your meditation is improving, you are slightly going through, undergoing some change in your personality. We can call it personality transformation. And it is in the better direction. It is in the positive direction because this is a natural process. Nature is always on our side. So if not naturally body is detoxified, I will say mind is detoxified in the meditation process. So this is where I come to a question that has been raised indeed by two practitioners, and they have sent this question to me in the past week. Why do I feel a sleepy jerk when I practice Patanjali meditation? This is something very common with a beginner. When you enter into this practice of Patanjali meditation, you will see that you sit for meditation, you are you are done with the first three steps of outer yoga. Now you are entering into the inner yoga. Your mind is becoming slightly calm, and you would like to make it all its mind fluctuations further subduing it, because this is a mind is also like a deep ocean. So certain waves are subdued, but there are still some tiny waves, and you would like to subdue them. But then you suddenly notice that there is a slightly, as if you are going to fall into sleep, something like that. And then that sleep overtakes you, or it somehow disturbs your meditation. and you are not able to practice further. Or if you force yourself to do the meditation further, it won't be that easy also. So the question arises that when I want to do meditation, why am I going into sleep? So the answer to this question is rather simple, and you would also think you can visualize it. But the answer has two sides. One is a good news and one is not that good news. So two sides of a coin, if you wish to call it like that. So let's look at the good news part first. First is, what sleep is. So sleep is when you lie to bed, you wish that your body and mind become restful, inactive, and that's what sleep is when you are not using body and mind, is it not? So day is when you are alert, you are able to use body and mind, and it is nature's cycle of day and night. In the night and throughout the day, you have picked up that fatigue of body and mind. Now, naturally, that fatigue is to be dissipated. That's why is the nature's gift of night and sleep both. So, night time is sleep time, and then you are making your body and mind inactive. And body and mind, more and more they are inactive, better and better is the quality of sleep. So, sleep is nothing but making your mind inactive. And we are aware of it. Sometimes we are lying in bed, we would like to go to sleep, but we are having sleepless hours, maybe or longer. And during those sleepless hours, we have noticed our mind is active. Too many things, some kind of anxiety, so many things are there which probably need our attention, but we have somehow taken them to our bed also. It shouldn't, ideally, it should not have been carried forward to our bed, but that's what has happened. So, if mind is active, I am unable to go into sleep. If mind is relaxed, that facilitates me to go to sleep. So, that's what the good news part is. When you are practicing meditation, your mind is relatively inactive, and that's what you notice. It facilitates a state that if it was bedtime, it would be good to go to sleep. But then the bad news comes part that this is a daytime. You should have been very alert. And of course, we wish to mind to become inactive because that's what meditation is. But then I am falling into sleep. Why? Because somewhere in my mind domain, residual sleep is still lying there, is it not? So that residual sleep, if ideally I had previous night very good sleep, then there would be no residual sleep. And then I spend these few minutes on meditation and I would be practicing meditation. I would not feel this sleepy jerk because there is no residual sleep. So now that residual sleep is our question too that is bothering us. Why is it there? So there is a bad news part that the previous night my sleep was not complete, or even if it was so to say complete, it was not very good quality probably. So that my system didn't get thorough relaxation, particularly in the mind domain. So somewhere in the corner, some sleep is residing, and that would need to be fulfilled. And that's where the good news part comes. When you are sitting for meditation, it is an ideal situation for sleep to attack you because you have made your mind relatively inactive, is it not? So there is a good news, bad news, but that's what we want to look into this table. Sleep and meditation go hand in hand. And that's why our very first session, even the objective we have written is very clear terms that good meditation is nothing but that same state of mind that prevails in deep good sleep, is it not? So sleep and meditation, everybody knows there is something common between them. And that common denominator is blank mind, is it not? So, as we are practicing meditation, it will be easier for you to go to sleep, and hopefully, your sleep quality will improve, and that will make this problem gradually disappear, is it not? If your sleep is very good, you wake up fresh, and then when you practice meditation, then such sleepy jerk will not be there. That's what we want to learn from meditation practice. As a practitioner, when I feel this, I should not get disturbed, but there is a message hidden in this. Good message is that yes, my meditation practice will help me go to better sleep, will make it easier for me to go to sleep, is it not? But, and that same thing, it will take a few weeks, but then my sleep quality will improve, then my sleep will not interfere with my meditation. So that's what we are learning from few weeks of meditation practice. And next week, I think I want to list, as I said, I have a list of about 130 benefits. So I would like to bring out first 10 of them, and occasionally in each session, I will discuss 10 benefits at a time. That way, throughout the length of the course, we have covered the total comprehensive nature of Patanjali meditation, which is based on Sankhya Sutra, the coverage of our mind, how it functions, what kind of, so to say, what is called vritti, how it is popping out, from which domain and why is it. And then Patanjali is teaching us how to control them. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. How to diminish the fluctuations in the innermost corner of my mind. And then contribution of Maharishi Dayanand using the silent recitation of that sound as the means to enter into the infinite ocean of immersion, that we call it. So let's devote next, I will say, I'm doing it for 10 minutes, say, but you can set your timer for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. So 10 minutes, I am setting my timer, and a very quick look at our methods. So first is a very comfortable sitting posture, and just making you feel relaxed, comfortable, your major bone joints. So this is a posture on a simple chair at this point, and maybe a couple of sessions later, I want to demonstrate other possible postures. Then we will have second step of deep abdominal breathing. We will devote 2 minutes to it. After that, we have a short pause, giving a message to my mind that don't worry about breathing anymore. We want to go further inward. Because breathing is automated, non-voluntary function, it will happen by itself. So deep in meditation, I am giving a subtle message to my mind. Deep in meditation, I don't want to be aware of my breathing also, is it not? Then after that slight pause, step number 3, oral recitation of the sound Om, gradually diminishing over a minute. Towards the end, it will be very mild whispering sound. These 3 steps are outer yoga. And then we go into step number 4, concentration, that is mental recitation of this sound. Sometimes a thoughts or some few things may come up, but we will be a bit watchful. And if something comes up, I will remind my mind, look, I gave you a task, mental recitation of this sound and nothing else. But if it becomes too much disturbing, then you come back to step number 3 and do a single oral recitation. Om. And again move to step 4, mental excitation, isn't it? And if suppose the disturbance you think is not so mild, you might as well come to step number 2, a single deep breathe out. And imagine that whole web of thoughts or whatever was disturbing you, you have thrown away through your nostrils. Again, one single oil recitation. Oh. Again to step number 4, mental excitation. So basically, the step number 4 to 5, where it is uniform mental excitation, no interruptions by any thought. So step 4, from concentration to meditation, as I said, you don't decide it. Your mind graduates from step 4 to 5, is it not? And that is a journey from, I will say, thoughtfulness to thoughtlessness. So that thoughtlessness is like mindfulness now, because now there is uniformity of that mental recitation of that sound. Nothing else is coming. So that is thoughtfulness. And graduation from step 5, namely meditation, to step 6, immersion into the infinite ocean. That is also your mind graduates. When even that sound mental at the mental level disappears and you are lost in nothingness, is it not? So these were our steps. Now let's begin with 2 minutes of deep breathing. Here it begins. Deep breathe out, abdomen sinking inward, throwing the air out of your nostrils. Deep breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. One more last cycle. Breathe out, breathe in, slight pause. Now giving the command to my mind, I wish it to disconnect from the world, first from the outer world and then from the inner world. We recite that sound. Here it begins. Om.